Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations coming at you today with another video on Cookie Run Kingdom, and today we're going to be diving into the brand new epic cookie, Black Raisin. I'm going to be breaking down his skills, giving you guys a little bit of combat information, and not only that, we're going to be diving into the pros and cons and my personal opinion on the overall cookie. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Diving right in, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Black Raisin Cookie. So the first thing we need to note right off of the bat is going to be Black Raisin is actually a female cookie, not a male cookie. I know. I totally messed up multiple times, and I thought Black Raisin was a male, when in fact it's actually a female cookie. So that's right, cookie gender police out there, settle down, all right? So nevertheless, we said it straight, and today it's going to be a female, not a male. The next thing you need to know about Black Raisin is she is going to be that of an ambush class, similar to Chili Pepper and also Vampire, all right? So another thing that I see a lot of players doing currently is they're trying to compare utilizing Black Raisin over somebody like Vampire. And in my personal opinion, I think Vampire is still way OP and basically meta versus running somebody like Black Raisin, and I think the cookies are just vastly different in skill and utility as well, that I just don't think it's a really good direct replacement. If you really are looking for a direct replacement between two individual cookies that are similar, I think that's going to be more of Black Raisin and Chili Pepper Cookie, because both of their skills are going to be similar. Not only that, they both fit in the middle row, with the difference being Vampire actually is placed in the rear row when it comes to the lineup and team composition. So again, I just think that Black Raisin is a more direct comparison to Chili Pepper and vice versa. So if you're looking to compare two cookies, that's who I would compare, and I wouldn't really stack up Black Raisin up against Vampire because their skills are just that much different. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into her specific skill. The first thing you need to note is going to be the cooldown. It's going to be 14 seconds, which is really nice. It's a nice balance for a skill cooldown, in my opinion. I believe Chili Peppers is actually 12, so she does actually have that over top of Black Raisin Cookie, 2 additional seconds at level 1, so that's just one thing to note. Secondly, the other thing you need to know is that it says no one can hide from the keen Black Raisin's eye. The cookie vanishes in the shadows, appears amongst their enemy ranks, and strikes several times, dealing substantial area damage. Now, there's a couple of things here. One, it's absolutely misleading, and the reason why I say that is because it says substantial area damage. Now, when you think of area damage, or you think of AoE, right, which is basically area of effect, you really try to think of somebody like Espresso or Latte. Now, that's not really the case when it comes to utilizing Black Raisin Cookie, and we'll get into that in the combat section right after this, taking a look at the toppings. But nevertheless, just keep that in mind. I don't think that the substantial area damage is actually going to be area damage, all right? So we'll get into that in a second. And the last thing is going to be several times. Now, it's going to be multiple attacks, multiple times, not just one striking or single target, or just 2 or 3 strikes. No, it's going to be multiple attacks, and it's going to be really nice, especially for utilizing something like an ambush cookie, which is their whole premise is to get in, do a massive amount of damage, and then get out to avoid taking damage. So anyways, with that being said, let's hop over here to the actual toppings. When it comes to toppings running on an ambush cookie, just like you would run on Vampire, or you would run on any damage dealer, and that's going to be searing raspberries are going to be the absolute best, right? So one could argue that running something like a cooldown reduction, or running a half and half, maybe running a couple of cooldown reduction toppings and only utilizing the small set buff from searing raspberry might not be a bad way to go. Now, in my opinion, I really think it comes down to your team composition and what content you are looking to cover, but I still think that it's going to be absolutely the best way to go is going to be searing raspberries to get the most attack that you possibly can, especially because he already has only a 14-second cooldown timer, and not anything too crazy. So I think adding the most amount of attack to her is going to only benefit in allowing her to do the maximum amount of damage. So when we also talk about toppings, the thing I also want to mention, especially for Black Raisin, is going to be 3 substats that I think are going to be very beneficial to hunt and get on your searing raspberries. And the first one is going to be crit. All right, if you can happen to get an additional amount of crit percent to drop on a substat, that's only going to add to the amount of damage being done, because Black Raisin will then have a higher chance to pop off a critical strike, which again, if you don't already know, does the most amount of damage. So that's going to be a good one. Another one is going to be if you happen to get super lucky and get a double roll on attack. That would be very, very good because you're just adding additional attack to your overall Black Raisin. And third and final one that I think is worth mentioning, and that's going to be cooldown reduction. If you can happen to get lucky with a cooldown reduction like we do have here on this rare topping, so to speak, we've actually got a really good rare topping, and this would be fantastic if it was in an epic topping, but nevertheless, you can see that's going to be cooldown reduction because the cooldown is again going to reduce that 14 seconds that it takes to pop off her specific skill. All right, so again, for the sake of the video, we just threw the rare ones that we had currently sitting in our inventory. I didn't really want to spend the gold to swap over the epic ones. If you want me to do that later on, I can do a more in-depth test of Black Raisin to really push her to her limits to find out how good she can be. But for today's video, I just wanted to give you a spotlight all around what to use and what to build her on. So now with that being said, let's actually hop over here into some combat, and I really want to show you guys the layout of her skill and how it performs. So we're going to actually be trolling a little bit. Now I can obviously clear 725 hands down, no problems with only these 3 cookies. I've done it a bazillion times, and I even did it on our live stream. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a trolling for that sake. But anyways, we've got pure vanilla at 41, dark choco at 40. We're running the scroll, the jelly watch, and then also the slingshot to add that additional stuff. And then also, like I said, we're only going to be running these 3 cookies. All right, so just bear that in mind. So the first thing I want to show you guys is I'm going to show you exactly how this skill pops off. So we're going to leave it on auto. I'm going to try to talk as fast as the skill pops off, and she's going to use it right away. So you can see she does a multitude of attacks. Actually, we'll take it off auto because I think all of the other cookie skills are going to take away from her specific skill. Now here's a good example. All right, here's what I want to show you. All right, take a look at this here. As I pop off her skill, you're going to see it only attacks the front row. The 2 units in the back here did not take any additional damage. Now, why is that very important? It's very important because remember when I said on that skill, when it said substantial area damage is going to be misleading? It's misleading because it doesn't do a massive area effect damage. It only is doing a lot of damage to a row of enemies, and it's going to be the row directly in front of, Black Raisin Cookie. So just keep that in mind. I just don't understand the area portion. It's not really doing an area amount of damage. It's hitting multiple targets, yes, but only seems to be only in that row that those enemies exist in. All right, so just keep that in mind. Not only that, when it comes to utilizing her skills, I think she's a little bit slow to recover. So she utilizes her skills, she vanishes, but then it throws her way in the back, which then takes her a few seconds to actually get caught up. Now again, it may not be that big of a deal, but when it comes to certain fights and stuff, getting that additional second or 2 in or getting thrown to the back can actually make a difference. But anyways, you can see here we easily wipe it with just these 3 cookies. Now Black Raisin did die just because of the level and everything, but you can see here that no problem, we're able to clear 725. But I pretty much gives you guys an example of how her skills specifically work. Again, in my personal opinion, if I had to put a full elaboration or my full analysis on Black Raisin Cookie, I know a lot of people currently right now, especially top tier arena players, were able to utilize a lot of experienced jellies and get the Black Raisin Cookie to the point of level 60, which by the way is absolutely insane. But they were able to get Black Raisin to level 60, and then now it's kind of adding into that meta. And the reason being is because it's a ambush cookie, really, really good. The feature banner is currently going on right now, so you can obviously get multiple copies of her specifically to then get the maximum amount of promotion. So obviously that's going to add and utilizing her over somebody like Chili Peppers. Another really good thing about her is going to be that cooldown reduction. If you add some sort of cooldown reduction, it's going to allow her to pop off her abilities sooner. And last but not least, it's going to be hitting in that direct line, which is going to be really, really good and strong against running other players that are utilizing things like Espresso and also Latte, because both of those units are going to be in that main middle row, which is going to be the row that, Black Raisins specifically attack. So again, just keep that in mind when you are trying to utilize her. She is going to be really, really good for those top tier arena ranks just because a lot of people are using those magic users. But that's going to be pretty much it when wrapping up my summary. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have anything else to add. Again, I'm all ears. I'm willing to try whatever you guys think. But with that being said, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notification every time we drop a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.